What's up YouTube? My name's Cole Mahoney and today I am going through the Busqueda box. This is an easy Linux box from Hack the Box. So we have our port scan all done. So we have port 22 and port 80 that are going to be open. So if we go to port 80 over here, we're going to see that it's going to redirect us to searcher.htb. So let's go ahead and add that to our Etsy host file. Paste that. So basically we want to select the search engine that we want to use. We want to type the query, we want it to be searched, and then we hit search to submit the query. And so if we notice here down at the bottom, we're going to see it's powered by Flask and Searcher 2.4.0. And this is something that I've never seen before, so we're going to go ahead and copy and paste that. Go ahead and look for exploit. And we're actually going to get a CVE for a critical remote execution vulnerability. So let's go ahead and copy that. Do POC GitHub. Let's go ahead and do this one, and it's going to tell us what the problem is. So this is going to be the vulnerable code that includes the eval method. And so basically it's not sanitized properly, so it can actually lead to an RCE vulnerability. So we can copy that, and if we look right here, we're going to see it's going to be in the engine portion. So let's go ahead, or we can do it in the query portion, which is what we're going to do, but we're going to need to open up Notepad. Go ahead and paste that. Enter our attacking IP. We'll do 443. Go ahead and copy that. And let's get a listener going. Paste that. And now we have a shell as SVC. So let's go see what we're looking at right now. And if we do LSLA, we're going to see .git. So we'll cd into .git, and then we will look at the config file, and we're going to see a virtual host right here, gatia.searcher.htb, with a username Cody and the password. So I'm going to do something. Let's go ahead and get a better shell here. pty.spawn. Go ahead and do that. And we can actually use this password with the sudo L. So let's go ahead and copy that, paste. And we see that it did work. And so I'm actually going to want to get a better shell. So we will do SSH. Go ahead and do that. Paste our password. And now we have a better shell to work with. And go ahead and exit out of that. Let's go cd dot. Or actually, let's go back to that sudo.l. And so we can run a command which is opscripts systemcheckup.py. So let's go ahead and try that. Go ahead and paste, and we can run docker. So this is going to be a docker, basically like a command where we can run like docker commands in, or a file that we can run docker commands in. So we have Docker PS, Docker inspect, and then full checkup. So if we look at Docker PS, what am I doing? Let's go up here, Docker PS. So we have Getia and we have MySQL. And actually we want to go ahead and add that to our Etsy host file as well. Okay, let's go over here. We'll do Getia. And we can sign in as Cody using the username and password. Let's go ahead and get that. I think we're in the right. So we need to go to CD. I think it's var. And there is our password right there. Copy that, paste our password. And we are now in as Cody. And something that was, so I wanted to look at the Getia as well as the MySQL. So if we run something like, let's look at the Docker inspect. And we see that this is not the right format. We need a format and a container name. So let's go Docker inspect. I want to see it in JSON format. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and grab this right there. Copy that. And I want to see the MySQL DB. Okay, let's go ahead and do that the correct way. Okay, there we go. Actually, no. Why is this not working properly? Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and change that actually. We'll just run it like that. And we're not actually able to get to MySQL. GITA. Let's go ahead and look for this password right here. Find. There's something else. Oh, there it is. Password. So if we go ahead and enter this. So we cannot connect. But if we come down here, we do have an IP address. So that'll be H172.190.3. And now we should be able to see databases. Let's use Getia. Select, I think it's username, password from user. Actually, just name. There we go. Since we are in the Getia database, we also have this administrator user, which is just so happen to have the same password as Cody. Let's go ahead and copy that. Go ahead and sign out of there. Sign back in. Administrator. paste that. Or my fault, it's actually going to be a reuse of this password up here. Copy that. It's going to be a reuse of the MySQL database password. So if we move to profile, we see a private repository, which is going to be scripts. And since we can't read any of the scripts, we can't really see what they're doing. So this gives us the opportunity to see what we're actually doing. If we come to fullcheckup.sh, or not fullcheckup.sh, but systemcheckup.py, if we look right here, so basically for the full checkup, if we enter full checkup, it's just going to look for fullcheckup.sh in that current folder. So we can actually make our own in a different folder and then run this with sudo against a malicious file that we have created. So I'm going to go to cd. We'll actually go ahead and run sudo-l. Get that script already. I'm going to go to cd dev shm nano full checkup.sh. Make sure that's the name it's looking for. And I'm going to put the SUID bit onto something like bash. So let's go ahead and do that. chmod +s bin bash. We're going to go ahead and run sudo, run this right here, copy, and then we'll run full checkup. Or actually we need to do chmod +x. There we go. And now it's done. And if we do lsla bin bash, we now have the SUID bit set. It's a pretty easy one to exploit. We're just going to run bash p id. Now I have the UID of root. So we can cd into root ls, and we have the root.txt file, and I just realized I missed it. But if we cd into service or home service, we have the user.txt flag as well. Alright guys, this was a really fun, just kind of easy box. I really need to get up my privilege escalation for my next OSCP attempt. But I did take a lot of time off, so I'm still kind of getting back into the swing of things. And this is something that I am not the best at. I sometimes overlook like what's actually in the files, which is so bad. But I'm getting better at it, and I think that's, you can get better, a little bit better every box. Even if it's 0.01%, you're still getting better. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Until next time, I hope you guys are doing great in your cybersecurity journeys.